After we've looked at the scattergrams and we've got some sort of diagrams that we're interested in, some idea about our data, you might be interested in looking at some other statistics and some other types of analyses. A typical analysis would be a distribution histogram. We can ask ActiveGraphs to draw a distribution histogram of any column. Let's look at a distribution histogram just on level. This is showing you the number of subjects at each of the levels, level 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. You can see that there are a lot of different instances in this data set. So that's a basic distribution histogram. This particular histogram does respond to data selection. So let's have a look at something down here. Say, let's look at level. So we choose all the level 5 subjects. We would expect the graph here to respond as though that was selected, and that's quite straightforward. Deselect that, we get back again. However, we can look at, say, the enrolled. We can look at those subjects at the top end here, 100 plus. Those larger subjects are amongst the levels 1, 2 and 3, and primarily the level 1. The very large subjects are really only the level 1. There are various ways to look at this data in ActiveGraphs. We can then just filter out the higher levels, and indeed those are still there. If we wanted to look at that in a different way, we can actually do filter to selection. So there is we have a distribution histogram. It responds to data point selection. It also responds in a particular way to data filtering. So we ended up having visibles that are selected, visibles that are not selected, and those that are not currently visible in the graph. As an alternate, we have a distribution histogram with visible points only. Again, let's look at the same thing, level. In this particular case, you'll find that the level 5s have been taken out because they've been filtered from the data set. We've also get a response to data selection. If we were to go further and start filtering this graph here is responding. One of the things about ActiveGraphs is you'll see this checkbox here which is active. This means it is constantly responding to the filtering. If we actually turn that off, we get a warning that the graph may be outdated. At this point in time it's not, but we may actually then reset this so some other graph responds to that. This one hasn't updated. This will be useful later on. As soon as you click it back to active, it will then be responsive again. Distribution histograms can be used for both categorical and also numerical data. We've got some numerical data here in terms of, say, the pass rate. That's those percentage of students who have got passed through high distinctions. Just making that a little bit bigger so you can see it. We have a distribution histogram. So this is a percentage going from 0 to 100. This has been binned or accumulated or quantized across the series. The number of bins is a setting within ActiveGraphs. Currently we're looking at 20 bins. You can reset that down to whatever size you want, and future graphs will respond to that. So there's two sets of data. This one's being categorized into only 10 bins, this is being categorized into 20 bins, and again these are responsive. So distribution histograms are one type of graph that will give you an idea of the spread of the data.